Join me as I dive into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and see if I can apply his philosophy to overcome my addiction once and for all. Marcus Aurelius is one of the most celebrated Stoic philosophers in history, and for good reason. His teachings have stood the test of time, and his wisdom continues to inspire and guide people to this day. In many ways, his philosophy is more relevant than ever, especially when it comes to overcoming addiction. I mean, think about it. Addiction is a struggle that requires enormous self-awareness, discipline, and resilience. These are all qualities that Marcus Aurelius preached about in his writings, and I believe that his teachings can be a powerful tool in the fight against addiction. I know this from personal experience. For years, I struggled with addiction, and it was a really dark time in my life. I felt trapped, like I was stuck in a never-ending cycle of craving and shame. It was hard to see a way out, and I often felt like I was losing myself in the process. The emotional and psychological challenges were overwhelming at times. The guilt, the anxiety, the fear of not being able to stop. It was a constant battle, and it took a toll on my relationships, my health, and my overall well-being. But despite the struggles, I never gave up. I was determined to find a way out, to break free from the grip of addiction, and start living the life I truly wanted. And that's when I stumbled upon the teachings of Marcus Aurelius. I was amazed by his wisdom, his compassion, and his ability to cut through the noise and get to the heart of the matter. His words were like a breath of fresh air, a beacon of hope in a time when I needed it most. At first, it was tough to apply his teachings to my own life. I mean, it's one thing to read about philosophy, but it's another thing entirely to live it. But I was desperate for change, so I kept at it. I started practicing mindfulness, trying to stay present in the moment and not get caught up in my cravings. I worked on acceptance, acknowledging that my addiction was a part of my story, but not defining me as a person. And I took responsibility for my actions, recognizing that I had the power to choose a different path. One of the most pivotal moments for me was when I realized that my addiction was not just about the substance itself, but about the feelings and emotions underlying it. I was using drugs to escape, to numb the pain and anxiety that I didn't know how to deal with. But once I started to confront those feelings, to really look at them and understand them, I began to see that I had the power to choose a different way. I started to develop coping mechanisms, healthy habits, and a sense of self-awareness that allowed me to navigate triggers and cravings with more ease. It was an aha moment, a moment of clarity that changed everything for me. I realized that I wasn't a slave to my addiction, that I had the power to break free. And it was all thanks to the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, who showed me that true freedom comes from within. His philosophy taught me that I am not my addiction, that I am a complex, multifaceted human being capable of growth, change, and transformation. In the end, it was Marcus Aurelius' teachings that provided me with the tools I needed to overcome my addiction. His philosophy showed me that I had the power to choose, to take control of my life, and to live in alignment with my values. And for that, I will be eternally grateful. His teachings are a reminder that philosophy is not just some abstract concept, but a practical tool for living a more authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling life.